Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Andi, and I'm really happy that you're here. Today we are doing another collab with Ash from Makeup in Chaos, my friend. I love collabing with them. It's always so much fun, but today we're not doing makeup. We're not doing a makeup look. No, we're not. We are going to show you our top 10 spring palettes. So I am going to show you my top 10 palettes for spring. And the first one is going to be this Ethereal Bloom palette, and it is by Artist Couture. And this is what this palette looks like. It is such a pretty, pretty palette. It's very spring. It reminds me of Easter. The only issue I have with this palette is that it doesn't go very deep. Like it has this, you know, this darker pink magenta type shade, but it's still not a terribly deep color. Like it's still pretty bright, but it is a very pretty spring palette. So that is why I chose that one, because to me it's Easter. It reminds me of Easter. The next one, and these are in no particular order at all, but the next one, I have the Rude Cosmetics with the Koi Boots palette. I'm sorry, Koi Footwear, and it is the Boots palette. And it is so cute. And it is very spring to me because not only are the shades springy, but the artwork, like the packaging. And again, there's not a really deep shade in here. And I know that spring is like lighter and brighter, but I still like dimension in my eye looks. So, I mean, these are beautiful shades. This is an absolutely beautiful icy teal color, and they're very pretty. It's very, very pretty. And then next up, gosh, I don't even know where to turn. Next up, I'm going to say that this Ace Beauté Floral Vintage, first of all, it has daisies on it. Daisies, hello. Daisies are the happiest flower. They are. But this is what this palette looks like. And while it could go fall, it could go summer, I think of spring when I see this palette because of the light purple or the lavender and the greens and the yellows. And there's this beautiful like peachy shimmer right here. And to me, this is a spring palette. You can, of course you can do fall with it. Of course you can do summer with it. But with the daisies and all of that, I think of spring, and it is such a beautiful palette. Next up, I'm going to go with a couple of other Ace Beauté palettes. The Falling For You. Yes, it is a fall palette, supposedly. But to me, this is a spring palette. Look at those shades. You got the light pinks. You've got that magenta. That magenta shade. You've got this beautiful yellowy green and the bright orange. To me, that's spring. I love this palette for spring. I love this palette, but I love this palette for spring. And this palette does not scream fall to me. It's a spring summer palette to me. Okay, the next one is also Ace Beauté, and it is the Nostalgia palette. And oh my gosh, if that's not spring. That is bright colors. You have this yellow and this green and these beautiful pink shades. And this shimmer, oh my gosh, look at that shimmer. That is a beautiful shimmer. And what's the other one? Oh, this down here, this orange. Look at that orange shimmer. Yes, and this is one of my favorite palettes. It is the first Ace Beauté palette that I got. It is the first palette that I did a collab with Ash. Yes. So that is one of my favorite palettes. The next one is going to be this Maybe Take Me to Paris palette. This screams spring. This is like the ultimate spring palette. Look at those. That green up there. These shimmery pinks. these deeper pinks. It is such a beautiful, beautiful palette, and definitely spring. When I showed this palette, I got it in my ice cream beauty box. Someone said it reminds them of Paris in the springtime. And yes, it does. It is a spring palette. The next one that I have is the BH Mimosa palette. Now, I had a hard time with this one because it could be spring, it could be summer, but it's very spring. You have a lot of light, bright colors. You know, you have a lot of pinks. You have a purple up there. You have this very pigmented yellow. And to me, that is a beautiful, beautiful spring palette. You should do a drinking game, and every time I say spring, you take a drink, because I feel like I've said it a lot. I mean, that is the idea of the collab, you know. The next two are both from ColourPop, and you've seen this recently if you saw my ColourPop haul of the bug collection. The first one is the Glow Getter, and it is the Firefly. And that is so pretty. Now this is very muted. It's a very muted spring palette, but it's still, you have this mint and this light pinky mauve color, and then this beautiful yellow color. And to me, with the packaging, I mean the packaging, that palette, to me, that is a beautiful, beautiful spring palette. And then the other one of the other ones from the bug palette is the So Fly, and this is the Dragonfly one. And again, beautiful shades. And I really love this and this teal together. That is such a pretty, pretty shade. And that is such a pretty pink. It's like almost a peachy pink. I love this palette. I think this palette is so, so pretty. And definitely spring. And then there's only one palette left. And this was kind of a no-brainer for me. Wiping off my fingers. This is kind of a no-brainer for me because it's so colorful. So colorful. And that is the Culture palette from Juvia's Place. And you have so many shades in here that scream spring. All of these greens, these pinks, the purples, the corals. Corals can be more summer, I guess, but you know, I just think of, this came to my mind when I was thinking about palettes that I have with spring shades. This palette definitely came to my mind because there are so many shades that you can make some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spring looks. Please go check out Ash's video, and they are going to show you their top 10 spring palettes. And I'm really curious because I know we have some of the same palettes, but I'm really curious to see which palettes they choose to be their favorite spring palettes. I love collabing with Ash. Ash is one of my best friends. Not YouTube friends, best friends. We talk all the time. You know, I know that I can tell them anything and they're not going to judge me and they're not going to think badly of me. And that's, to me, that's a friend. Someone that loves you for who you are. And yeah, so collabing with them makes my heart happy. So I love, love, love collabing with Ash. So if you don't follow Ash at Makeup and Chaos, please go over and check out their channel and check out their video to see what palettes that they chose for their top 10 spring palettes. I really appreciate being here. Everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.